And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. Although, first I do need to let people know on Discord that I am, in fact, doing another stream. It says we're live. Alright. Yeah, alright. I'm just waiting. I'm just letting people know on the Discord server that we are, in fact, doing another live stream. There we are. Alright, Shipwreck 1843 says, hello there. Hello, Shipwreck 1843. And on that subject, let's go ahead and see if we are, in fact, live. It says we are, but I'm just going to double check and make sure. Yes, we are, in fact, live. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. I have today a returning guest, specifically Nathan X 2000. Although right now he might be slightly indisposed, so we'll see. Today we will... Whoops. Today we'll be, of course, reading some more Star Wars The High Republic Adventures. Issue number 5 we are up to. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I know that they have, in fact, officially completed this comic book series, so we are over the halfway point. So this is the starting the second half of the story arc, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm back.
Welcome back. And yeah, so like I said, I am joined today with returning guest Nathan X 2000.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me back, Ace.
Thank you for being back. And like I said, we are, of course, going to be reading some more Star Wars The High Republic Adventures and seeing how this goes. We are halfway through this series, so this is the start of the second half, issue number 5, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Oh no, this is the cringy line of Star Wars comics.
One of them. The one written by Daniel Jose Older.
Oh no.
Alright. Takudana, then. I guess I'll voice this character. It was supposed to be one of the most important days in a young Jedi's life. And don't get me wrong, it was amazing, the power of that kyber, letting it guide me, feeling each piece click into the pace. And the final result, well...
Very nice. Keep at it. Let the Force flow through.
Luminous.
Savina Besatrix Malagan.
All I remember that day is... the moment. What'd I do?
The lightsaber is a sacred implement.
I know that.
It is to be respected, honored. One cannot rush through the construction of such a powerful tool.
I didn't rush. I realized.
As Jedi, our lightsabers are extensions of our very selves. It is never to be lent out and certainly never lost. Would you lend someone your own arm?
What happened to not having attachments? Oh, God!
That's to stick the knife in a little bit deeper. Ace has cringed himself out of existence. He's folded in on himself.
Ura says, why is there a pickle on top of an alien? Because apparently, I guess maybe Daniel Jose Older has seen one issue of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and decided to copy one of the characters' designs from it. I don't know.
all the design of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure without any of the flavor.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I was never going to be a Jedi. I'm pretty sure this character becomes a Jedi later on, so...
Yes.
Market District, Jeddah City, now. Great, we're back in Space Jerusalem. Awesome.
Yay! Rock up some Sabaton on the playlist.
Yeah, Oro says, I was wrong. I am not late for the stream. I am too early to be drunk enough to see this bull. Yeah. I didn't really know what I'd do instead until I ended up running off with Maz Kanata's pirate crew. It felt like the rest of my life suddenly became much clearer.
Do you want me to voice this bitch?
Yeah.
Anyway, life on Iridonia was not for me. So many rules. Very restrictive.
Yikes!
Was that a fucking Reddit moment?
Whenever anyone shouts out "yikes" in a comment, the first thing that comes to my mind is Zach from Fusion Frenzy shouting "yikes" as he screws up.
Good reference.
And it is every bit as obnoxious as Zach could be in that game.
Yikes.
You could say that, yes. Saya, Keem, Dank, Grak, Bezrip, Rat, not really. Oh, thanks. We couldn't realize that this character's name was a fake name there. I love how Daniel... It's almost like Daniel knew that I was going to be streaming this, and so he wanted to make sure that everyone could remember these characters' names, because they're that forgettable, A, and B, because we actually pace it out after usually a few weeks in between issues.
He spites you in his writing, Ace. He knows you exist. He's like, haha, they will suffer.
Except, joke's on him, then I have yet more to complain about whenever he screws up, which is all the time.
True.
Except then another crew, the Dank Grax, kidnapped Maz, so now I'm undercover with them trying to rescue her. We're trapped in a war zone.
Anyway. What's your deal?
Shoots someone and just is having a casual conversation while doing it. The writing is really, really special.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't give you the impression that they're in a serious firefight. Like, there's no stakes whatsoever.
Exactly. It's... that's not...
What the fuck is it with, like, modern Disney writing and just, like, quips everywhere? Like, that's just human. Like, that's what it's just devolved to. Like, something happens, and then just, like, a very quirky one-liner, like every Marvel movie.
I'm somewhat... You know what? I suspect that it's because the people writing these comics have a tendency of being rather insecure, and so these snarky quips are their way of coping and whatnot.
Yeah. As if they're writing out the arguments that they're trying to win in the head.
Oro says, Dan finally understands himself. To write crap is to be crap, and to be crap is to point it out so you cringe yourself into oblivion by reading it. Oris also says, look, it was the girl I thought would be cool, normal, and decent character. Instead, they turned into the biggest crap of them all, and you had a rainbow monkey. Yeah. Maybe we should head back to the ship now?
Like, what's the point of having the Force if you're not going to have fun with it? Know what I mean?
Do I ever? Hey,
Can we
you...
to what? Oh yeah,
go ahead and voice him.
Hey, you two! Stop right there!
The problem is, I'm pretty sure they're on to me.
Relax, newbie. There's still some more fun to be had.
Well, we definitely know this character is a complete villain, what with them just having fun gunning down random people in the streets.
Very Jedi-like. Although technically she's not killed anyone yet.
She hasn't.
Yet.
Well, yet. And I have no idea where Maz is. Remember, no Jedi.
Oh god, I'd love for that to be a sequence in the new Star Wars game.
Capital District, Jeddah City. Coromant Vissel. How are we supposed to find Mars in the middle of a battle? Thrum Scissor Punch. You want to voice this character?
Oof! Who are these losers anyway? They're tedious.
Dexter Jetster? Dexter
Holy
Jetster?
fuck, Dexter Jetster, he's back. The man's back.
Yes, he is. And a lock. Alright, so... Oh, and there's also Quiet Sean. So I guess you want to voice a lock and I'll voice Dex?
Yeah? Yeah, go on.
Well, I think a lock's next up, so...
Yeah. Say, Dex, you and Mars, you two alike.
Oh, you actually missed a couple lines in the panel above.
Oh yeah. We know the darn Groks were headed here with her. We just have to stick around until Say gets a chance to reach out and tell us where to be.
Just remember, Jeddah citizens, from the look of them. Just regular Jeddah citizens from the look of them. Someone must have whipped them up into a frenzy over something.
Say, Dex, you and Mars, you two alike.
Oh, Lark, I wish there was a simple word for what we are. It's a thing beyond any relationship I've ever had.
No, I mean, how did you know that it was, well, what it is?
Oh, I see. Well, Lark, when I'm with Mars, she makes me smile on the inside. It's that simple. No one else makes me feel... This guy of all characters. One of the most jovial and cheerful characters in Star Wars. And only Maz can make him happy.
As if he wasn't happy speaking to Kenobi in the diner.
Yeah. Now, granted, that is centuries later, but point still stands.
Oh, true, yeah.
Point still stands, though. This guy's character is completely off from what he was in, Attack of the Clones. It is completely different from what he was like before, or after. But anyways, when I'm with Mars, she makes me smile on the inside. It's not that simple. No one else makes me feel like that. And so what we call each other, what our rules are, it doesn't matter much. We're honest with each other. That's what matters. Also, they're doing this right in the middle of a battle as well.
Yeah, remember what I said before about the fact that nothing feels serious?
Mm-hmm.
Just casual chatter. You know, it's like me and you being in a bar fight and then I turn around and go, hey Ace, how was your day? Well, I'm just glassing somebody in the throat. Fuck me, Jesus Christ.
I wasn't expecting something worse than we're all allowed a bad day. On reflection, this isn't quite that level of atrocious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, we're all allowed a bad day. Force lightning.
While setting a guy's face on fire.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And it's a Jedi Knight saying this to a guy who just out of nowhere attacked a bunch of civilians by setting them on fire. Laura says Dex is back, but I bet he wished he wasn't considering the comic he's in. Maybe that explains why Dex is so unhappy. He is self-aware, like Deadpool, and he realizes he's in a bad comic.
He's only there to get paid.
Rose says, modern Disney writing is like ancient cave paintings, but in reverse. The paintings are timeless, simple, and have story and depth with them. Disney writing is, well, a puddle would be a compliment. Yeah. Or says, this writing is worse than being shot by the Death Star. Also, why is Dex art so strange in the comic? Where is his fat and throat sack? He looks thin and weird. Yeah, that too.
Eros is only saying that thin is weird because he himself is the size of a great unclean one from Warhammer 40k. Like, he's a chunky boy. He's like Big Weld from Robots.
Out of nowhere, I'm just reminded of an amusing story. Did you hear that story about this was back during the early days of Trump being president? Apparently there was a protest, and it was a feminist protest, and there was news articles talking about how this feminist protest was the largest gathering of people with disabilities in human history.
No, I do not remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me, that is unfortunate.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing... I know the article was around, but... I know the article was around because I saw it years ago, but I'm not having trouble finding it. But to be fair, we're talking about 2017 with it now.
Yeah.
So that's probably why, but... Oh, here it is. Alright, so Teen Vogue. The Women's March on Washington will be the largest gathering of disabled people in history.
I wonder what you meant by that. I know what I'd mean.
So, okay, here's the actual article. It's a case of really, really poor phrasing. But yeah, it's an actual article. There you are. So yeah, I left it in the chat so anyone who's curious can check it out. But yeah, that's an actual article. Rose says epic. It's right up there with some of the other really funny ones, like there was an article titled "It's Time to Give Up on Facts." Yes, that's the actual name of the article.
I don't like that. That title kind of scares me.
Yes, it does. But anyways, on that case, let's go ahead and continue on.
Do you think Inspector Raff followed us here? He must have. I hope all this dust doesn't mess with his breathing apparatus. That's one of the ways we first bonded. His lungs were shredded from working in a chemical mine when he was young. And me, well, two strangers who had to carve out a space for ourselves in worlds that didn't believe in us. Opposite worlds, of course. Stars. Listen to me. Anyway, we should probably get moving. Come on, everyone. Let's haul out.
You know, I've never... Still, they're just monologuing in the middle of a massive fight, too. That's... Say, Therm, what's the matter? You coming?
Yes, Therm. Yes.
You're not nervous, are you? After all the wild stories I've heard about you?
Stories. That's all they are. I made them all up. How else was I supposed to live up to a name like Scissor Punch, huh?
Cockstar, all of them? We all exaggerate a little, but... You want to voice the mini dude here, or should I?
You can go ahead if you want. Because, like, the part of a duo act, so...
Let me talk to him, Cormont. You go ahead, we'll catch up.
Huh? Officerado? But you're...
The law. So why should I help out a low-life gangster like you?
Well,
Good question, because I want to stay alive. First of all, and talking people out of their own bad habits is what I'm good at. Don't tell anyone, but I do it for Cormont all the time. Trust me, I am still planning to arrest all of you one day. That sounds like a brilliant thing to say to space pirates.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's joking. I'm sure he's being a little goober. It's just... I've been in bar fights aplenty, but never real war before. I don't think I have retained me. I don't even know why Maz let me join her crew. Probably just because of my name.
Maz breaks about 18 different laws just by waking up in the morning. But one thing she's not is a poor judge of character. Which means someone else is telling you that you're not good enough. Who might that be?
Where? Me?
Say their name.
Firm Scissor Punch.
Okay, I want to... Alright, so let's talk about the line there real quick. So, not a bad judge of character, but is a literal space pirate who lets people join her crew all the time. Is it just me, or is that something of a contradictory statement to say that she's not a bad judge of character?
Well, I mean, it depends on your alignment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, to an evil person, I mean, well, I don't know, fuck it, erase, not exactly monetized. You know, for Hitler, Goebbels was a pretty decent dude. But to us, you look at Goebbels and you go, might have been a bit of a nutcase. So,
Indeed.
It depends from what angle you're kind of looking at. Firm Scissor Punch, he's a top fella, he's a top lad. How many people has he decapitated? Nah, well, I'm sure he's good at heart.
Well, you know, it would seem to me, though, that if you're talking about space pirates, Well, all right. So that is an interesting argument. I will say that. It seems to me though that how to word this. All right. So I would have to take the position that the National Socialists historically had their own very specific moral framework that happens to be completely evil in practice. However, according to as far as they were concerned, they thought they were the good guys. Because I've actually did a video. Did you see you did see the video I did a few days back on that, right?
Yes, I did.
So you know for a fact. So you know that the way they saw it, they were of the impression that they were punching up against systemic oppressors.
Uh-huh.
They thought they were trying to. They thought in their mind they were trying to save the world. Even.
Yes.
So they actually did have a moral framework. It's that the moral framework was completely fucked beyond all recognition.
Yes, I did do a video on my own about the Nazis, so yeah, I understand.
Here's the thing. If you're talking about space pirates, for example, people who commit theft in space, for all intents and purposes, that's kind of implies that they have absolutely no You'd either have to A, have a moral framework that sees no issue whatsoever with just committing high robbery, or B, you'd have to know that this was a moral failing of some sort. And so for us to say that anyone has a good character implies that she can trust someone who either thinks armed robbery is not a problem whatsoever, including to her own self, but also alternatively that they know it's wrong and continue to do it anyways.
Well, I can see where you're coming from, but like I said, there's still the angle of like Mars's own sort of ethics, because like it kind of because you can kind of like argue for that in the real world. Like if a thief runs into a store and the policeman catches him, if it turns out the thief was stealing medicine for his child that he can't afford, is he stealing out of need or is he stealing out of greed? Like, if it turns out the firm Scissor Punch was, like, actively robbing, like, settlements where there's just, like, a bunch of refugees and, like, the easy pickings, then I'd argue, yeah, he's a bit of a dick. But if he's only stealing from, like, people from the Empire or the organized gangs that are engaging in, like, actual trafficking, then, you know, maybe Mars sees it as, like, two wrongs making a right.
I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of don't trust a person who's designing a comic meant for like teen adolescents, as well as working for modern day Disney, to even fucking remotely come up with a good ethics argument for a character.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, is that not the truth.
Like the Empire will always be the bad German club, as we should call it. Like they'll always resemble them, because for God fucking forbid, Disney actually create a villain with any kind of depth anymore when they were really good at it.
Well, keep in mind, this is the High Republic era, so the Empire doesn't exist here.
Oh, sorry, I meant like in general. Because that's what most fucking Star Wars villains seem to be. But then gangs kind of seem to be the same. They're like, they're the big bad high rollers, trafficking and everything, stealing from the poor. Then there's always the hero who's a little misguided, and then they come along and it's like, they saved the day, they've learned the lesson.
Ura says, demonetization has no hold over Ace the Mighty, for he is mighty enough to go without YouTube money. This guy and his 6 editors can't write any story worth crap. Do you think they can teach ethical anything? Good point. All right. Oh, but I will actually talk about the monetization because I was actually going to talk about that earlier. So we are officially, let me show you here, 1 month, 1 full month into 14 days to get a response from YouTube.
Yeah. New record, baby.
Let me read it. Your appeal is under review. You'll receive a response by email and in YouTube Studio within 14 days. Not, we'll try to give you a response. Not, you may get a response. It's, you'll receive a response. As in, their
Guaranteed.
Yes.
Ooh.
And we are 1 full month into 14 days to get a response.
TikTok, YouTube.
Well, Goku, I suspect that this planet will only have 5 minutes before it explodes.
12 episodes later.
That's going to be my joke whenever I do actually get someone to review it. It's going the amount of time is just going to go longer and longer until it does it. It's going to be how many X number of days or months or years, and then it'll cut to Frieza saying, 14 days to receive a response. Or
to be honest, you could probably put that through like an AI speaker, and like you could perfectly replicate Frieza's voice.
I could. Or it says, "Oh my God, almost faster than my country's medical response time." YouTube. Yeah. Oh, and also apparently if you delete any videos after you received your channel review decision, we won't be able to review your appeal, so there's something else to keep in mind, so you have to make sure that none of your videos are potentially in violation of content ID claims or whatever, because if they are and you try to delete them, well, that's an automatic fail. Apparently.
I can kind of understand that as like burying evidence, to be honest.
Yeah, then again though, if you had a video that you were trying to do, yeah, but there you go, the point still stands. That'll apparently screw you over, so if you're trying to do an appeal, don't do that, so.
Yeah. I shall remember that for when I get content claimed by fucking no one.
Yeah. Whoever this... Alright, let's go ahead and carry on. Whoever this Therm Scissor Punch is, he is your worst enemy. Worse than any enemy you'll face on the battlefield. Who's your worst enemy?
Therm Scissor Punch.
There you go. Now, who knows better than anyone else in the galaxy how to defeat this Therm Scissor Punch?
Thermoculus Christinvolt Scissor Punch.
You know what you have to do. So this is a cop motivating a space pirate so he can find the strength within him to attack civilians in the middle of a war.
Ace. Not to get political, but if you look at the ethics of cops, not all of them are exactly aligned with the good side, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
so this guy's par for the course.
Speaking of cops, you guys might be interested to hear that a video game, one of the video games comics has come out in full, completely, or at least I was able to pick it up completely. And the comic in question, Future Cop LAPD.
Oh shit, you got it.
Yes.
Nice.
There's 2 issues. So now that I have both of them, I know exactly what's going on. Basically, the first issue is a special promo issue, and then the other issue is the actual first issue. So it's one of those cases where there's technically, it'll say 1 issue, but there's technically 2. Another game that has a comic book series that's exactly like that is, ironically enough, Vigilante 8 Second Offense. Ironic because you're now playing as, well, not a cop, A, but someone who is still trying to uphold the law. And also Vigilante 8 Second Offense is from a franchise that is really, really weird as well. Oro says, future cop, Law and Order need bigger guns. I love how, apparently, in one of the... so I was skimming through the first proper issue, and how the cop that's in the mech, says he's going to control a riot with his electric gun and flamethrower.
He just said he's going to control it. How ethically he's going to control it, that's still up in the air. Oh, what's your mech called? The Convict Muncher.
Like I said, though, this is a universe set in the future where the cops are wearing, or the prison guards are wearing ultramarine armor, and the inmates are wearing salamander armor.
Oh, wait, shit, yeah, you showed me the gameplay for that.
Yeah. And the bad guy and the gangs in this are, well, actual legitimate threats as well, it turns out. Like the one guy, like the very first gang you fight in the game, basically is able to screw over Elon Musk by shooting down spacecraft that are flying to Mars. Because they turned an observatory into a laser cannon.
I kind of like that, not gonna lie.
Oh, and by the way, you want to know what the name of this ruthless gang is called?
What are they called?
The Observers.
Sounds like they do a lot more than observe.
Yeah. that debris that's falling to the ground, that is some excellent observing there. Anyways, let's go ahead and carry on. Alright, I believe you're up.
Yes. I'm sorry, let me just find the page. This fucking ad block doesn't keep failing me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we're hanging out. I think it's you.
No, this is page 10, and you're the girl on the right that's the first character talking, so...
Oh shit, yeah, sorry, the speech bubbles, they're fucking confusing.
Yeah!
Oh, this must be one of those Path of the Open Hand weirdos.
What's their problem?
Well, supposedly they hate anyone who uses the Force.
1, 2, 3.
Their Force will be free!
The
Force will be free! But they teamed up with us, the group of Force users, to help disrupt the peace talks, so... hypocrites, basically.
Typical.
Oh, fuck off, as if the Jedis want to talk about hypocrites.
Yeah, I know.
fuck off. Plus, they're super annoying.
I mean, as opposed to everyone else that we've seen in these comics so far.
Yeah.
Hey! That's a Jedi! Kark, I've been made.
She's not a Jedi, you clowns. She has a lightsaber because she killed a Jedi.
Not likely.
Get him! Wanna have some fun?
Do you even have to ask?
Is this Force free enough for you losers?
I mean, I suppose at least that's not them using the lightsabers and blasters to kill them all, so...
No, but I think it kind of follows the Batman philosophy of where he says he will not kill somebody directly, but for some reason will openly give them brain damage. So any one of these people fall funny, then neck snap, spine go bye-bye.
Have you ever seen How It Should Have Ended? It's an older series, I know, but...
Oh yeah, I know. I know of the series, but which episode are you on about?
The Dark Knight.
No, I don't believe I have.
Alright, so the How It Should Have Ended for The Dark Knight, it ends with... You know that scene where Joker is walking down the street with the machine gun and says, "Come on, I want you to do it, I want you to do it."
Yeah.
So the How It Should Have Ended ends with Batman running him over with the motorcycle. And Superman saying, "Wait, you ran over the Joker?" "Yeah." "But what about your rule?" "Didn't kill him." And Joker's there. His entire body is in a brace.
Perfect.
And he says, "You want to know how I got these scars?" to a nurse, and she says, "From Batman?" "From Batman!"
Perfect.
That is actually legitimately perfect. That is absolutely how it should have ended.
Film ended about 30 minutes in. Batman just runs off the Joker like the end.
Alright. Speaking of getting closer to the end. Whoa.
Yay. Army guns! Run!
So they've pissed off Space Jerusalem so much that they are sending in the Space Israeli Defense Force to put a stop to them.
Space Mossad.
At least it's not Space Shin Bet, because otherwise they would be in a world of hurt.
Oh no.
Alright, Galactic Database, The Battle of Jeddah. A peace summit to end the forever war between Iran and Enera deteriorated into open battle as saboteurs set off explosions and rallied rioters around Jeddah City. Irani forces. 300 infantry soldiers armed with TX-9 blaster rifles and body armor. 75 platform gun walkers. The Irani forces. 400 infantry soldiers armed with G7 blaster rifles and body armor. 50 platform gun walkers. The Jedi. The Jedi Knights doing their best to salvage their shattered peace deal. No numbers on them. Path of the Open Hand members. Extremist force cult incites riots to prevent the signing of the treaty, led by the mother, Alicia Zeveron. What? No Space Alex Jones?
No, clearly it's between Space Mossad and Space Palestine.
The Irani fleet. Malfunctioning starship clunkers alongside newly acquired Corellian Devil fighters piloted by the Outer Rim's best. The Irami fleet. Outfitted for underwater use more than spaceflight, the ships resemble creatures from the Irami seas. So they're basically like the Mon Calamari.
Mm-hmm.
The second spire and the Temple of the Kyber. Saboteurs set off explosive devices at key locations of the second spire and the Temple of Kyber. So a massive war in which two fleets are going... Also, though, these numbers for the number of infantry and walkers that are being used in this is pretty small.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck it is with Star Wars, but for some reason they can never get the scale of conflicts right.
No, but this is pretty bad even by those standards.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I need to emphasize, alright, so your typical infantry battalion these days is about 1,000 guys, right?
Uh-huh.
Keep in mind, a single infantry battalion outnumbers both of the ground forces combined. And that's a battalion. That's not a division, which it's not a corps or anything like that. It's just a single battalion. I'm pretty sure if if these ships are anything to go by, these ships would probably be able to carry that many guys in single-handedly. Now, the walkers could actually be something a little bit different because a lot of walkers... That's actually a lot of fire... That's a lot of walkers in comparison to infantry if we compare it to, say, tanks as the number of tanks that would be seen in a tank battalion or something like that. Let's see. So a typical company for a tank company would be what? 16 armored vehicles?
You know a lot more about military than me, so I'll take your word for this.
Something like that, I think. So I think it would be maybe 4 platoons worth, and a platoon of tanks is 4 tanks, basically. Now, a platoon of infantry is more like 50 infantry or so. So, give or take. There is some variation depending on squad sizes and whatnot, but that's something like that, typically. Uro says Ewoks could defeat these armies. Yeah, that too. Uro says, oh look, an attempt at Warhammer army list. Yeah, like I said, these are some pretty small armies that are being sent in here. Even by Star Wars standards, these are some tiny, tiny armies. Also, Uro says, Future Cop, Law and Order need bigger guns. That was from earlier. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue. Inspector Raph Thatchburn, Pirate Hunter. Now, what to do with the dank ranks? My Maz's pirate crew and the path of the open hand have to do with the collapse of the Iram peace talks. It just doesn't add up. Why wouldn't it add up? Pirates attacking people to screw over peace deals doesn't add up?
Maybe they just want to rob people and keep the planet destabilized so that they can get away with robbing more people.
Maybe one of the sides paid them to do this so they can have plausible deniability and make it look like the other side actually started hostilities. And you can't really tell who exactly started the fighting.
Like we keep seeing in every other fucking Star Wars comic with 2 battles, or with like 2 forces fighting over the same cause, apparently.
Maybe the pirates were hired. Maybe the fighting didn't start because of the pirates, but the pirates themselves were hired in an emergency as mercenaries, basically, to help assist one side win the fight over the other.
So this guy's wrong. It does add up. In fact, it adds up so much, it adds up in multiple different fucking ways. He just needs to find out which way it is.
Exactly.
It just doesn't add up. No, it does. It's multiple choice. Pick one.
And all of them could be possibilities. Heck, it could even be potentially multiple answers in that case to some degree.
Exactly.
Tanique, come back, girl.
Come on. The Enlightenment is down this street. We can hold up the trouble.
Let's get 'em.
The entire life of Therm Scissor Punch had led up to this moment. I got this one. Did Therm feel fear? Yes. But did it matter? No. Because Therm had entered the Therm state. Who fucking talks like that? Oh my god, that reminds me of like all the cringy ass people from 2014 that would say they were in beast mode. The Therm state. Clearly, there are not 3 states of matter, there are 5. gas, solid, liquid, plasma, and therm. My own worst enemy. The one enemy I can surely defeat is therm. Scissor punch.
Wait, hold on a second. Do the people that are in the crowd have lightsabers in the background?
No, it's just regular wooden sticks.
That just look exactly like lightsabers because the artist didn't know how to draw this.
Yeah, it kind of gives everyone a different flavor of color. So, but they technically should have all sticks of the same kind of wood, and not like different colors indicating different Jedi's. But it doesn't replicate that fucking hell.
Gorkaya says, "What's up? Not much. We're reading more High Republic adventures, and it's not going very well. As you can probably tell." Oro says, "The best part of this comic is the dog, and yes, the comic dog just appeared, so you can take it as you will. This is writings fitting of one particular location in the labyrinth, the bog of eternal stench." Yeah. I used to think it was cringe when I found out that historically speaking, Douglas MacArthur used to talk about himself in third person all the time.
That's very cringe.
Yeah, apparently Douglas MacArthur historically was a big prima donna who, like I said, it wasn't, I'm going to do something, it's Douglas MacArthur is going to do something. Apparently, he was also a big mama's boy as well.
That kind of makes sense.
To the degree that she would repeatedly write senators if her baby boy didn't get the promotion he wanted.
Oh no, the mama's boy throwing a temper tantrum. Who could have seen that coming?
And when the senator doesn't respond, she writes another letter. He probably would be thanking his stars he was an officer, not an enlisted man, because that would not fly if she tried to do that while he was enlisted. There's a story that's gone around about this one guy whose mom decided to contact some veterans because her kid didn't yet get a combat patch because he had just left basic training. And you don't get a combat patch until you're in combat and have seen combat. So she says she's talking about how he feels left out and whatnot, and the veterans try to say, well, look, that's just something that he's going to be that way until he gets into combat, sees some action, then he'll get the combat patch, and there you go. And she then starts chewing out the veteran, so the veteran decides to troll both her and the kid by telling her to go contact the kid's first sergeant and have him deal with the problem. At which point she did, at which point the first sergeant knew exactly where she was coming from, she said, and had decided that he's going to throw her son a pizza party. A pizza party is not a good thing to have happen in the military.
Hey, hang on, it boosts morale having a pizza party, come on.
Well, until you get into the fun games of eat as much pizza as you possibly can and do as many push-ups as you possibly can until you throw up the pizza. A pizza party is a punishment in the military.
It boosts morale still.
Yeah, it causes everyone to absolutely hate the kid that caused the pizza party, so he's going to be fucked with for a few weeks until things die down. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and carry on. I do believe you technically have one more line there.
Yarr!
Crikey, Rado, what did you say to him? Oh, the usual. You know.
Over here.
That's what I thought, you goofy little uniforms. Run along.
Whew. That was amazing. How do we, keep getting into these messes?
Don't act like... Huh? Yeah! Oh, no. Yeah, that would cause you to think, oh, no.
3-year-old toddler when it sees the local pit bull named Princess.
PBR Street Gang is waving. Hello, PBR. Rose says, eat pizza or die. Eat pizza and die. Same thing. Rose says, dog. Yeah.
Puppy.
And this really is turning into that meme, what with the she'll kiss you to death.
Yes.
This is Inspector Raff's hound.
Bezrip. You know this doggy?
Stop. Down. That means Raff can't be far. Was I voicing the inspector?
Yeah, you're the inspector.
Right. Tonique, here you go. Stars, if he finds me with Grok, I'll be blown for real. He'll try to arrest us. Someone will get killed. Either way, I'll never be able to save Maz. Saya, watch out.
Arf!
Tonique, listen, take my light... Oh, wait. Tonique, listen, take my lightsaber to your dad, okay? The lightsaber...
I love how she's alive. I love how she's alive in the next panel, but it just looks like she's just fucking dead, like in the Family Guy death pose in the background.
Yeah? The lightsaber is the Jedi's most sacred, etc., etc. But am I even... etc., etc.?
Let me forget one of the Jedi's most important lessons, and then question whether I'm still a Jedi.
I mean, at that point, you do have cause to question whether or not you're a Jedi. But anyways. But am I even a Jedi anymore? Now go, hurry.
Oof. What? Bezrip, you saved my life.
Wait, did she give her a scar? Or was that already there?
That was already there.
I was about to say, if she gave her a scar, that was going to be an interesting development to say, the very least. Anyways,
Holy fuck. I've just noticed something.
What?
The artist's a dumbass. So look at the fucking shit. I forgot her name. Can't be asked. The bitch in the spandex, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many lines are below her eye? On the first panel, how many lines are below her eye?
Did he not draw it properly? Which eye,
Okay.
too?
The left eye, first panel. How many lines can you see? How many black lines?
I don't know.
There's 3. There's 3 big... On page 19, the first panel, on the girl on the left, there's 3 black lines running under her eye. They're like weird tribal tattoos or something.
Yeah?
Go to the second panel, there's 2. Heading straight down. Rather than curved.
Good point. He actually screwed that up.
How the fuck do you screw up the consistency that bad of a
Drawing lines is hard, guys. Especially drawing them straight.
Fuck me, God forbid I've got to use a ruler.
God, these guys are making me think that I can actually draw.
You probably could.
Some people clearly did need to be kicked out of art school, and they now work for Disney Comics. Anyways. Oro says, Pitbull sees child. Pitbull gains 1 point of the dark side. TBA says, I don't mind these characters if they get eaten by monsters right if they say something dumb. Don't be cruel to monsters. They would end up food poison. Says Urus. And Urus also says, this is why this version of the story has the Sith as the good guys. At least they aren't this stupid. Yeah. Let's carry on. Oh, wait. There's one more from TBA. Not that I would put it past the artist to be so bad to just figure out how to draw a character from one panel to the very next, but I think the line with the angle is supposed to be her cheekbone. Maybe, but it still does look pretty weird.
Yeah, no, I do not think that's a cheekbone because the line is joining up to her eye. The one that's curved. So either the artist does not know how to draw, like shading into a cheek, or he's just completely fucked up the tribal tattoo.
Siege says, as an ex-inker, this inconsistency offends me. Or it says, Siege, this offends everyone. Yes. This comic book series is hate speech because I absolutely hate it.
Gem, he just writes this to spite you.
Alright, let's carry on. It was nothing.
No one's ever thought my life was worth saving before.
Oh, no. Why do you run with a crew of pirates if none of them are going to actually give a damn if something happens to you? I mean, that kind of defeats the whole safety in numbers argument there. Look, we gotta get out of here. Come on.
Except Dern, maybe, but he's just a big old sap.
So there is someone that's actually willing. So she just threw shade at Dern when she knew that, yeah, he tried to save her life before. Awesome.
Yeah, let me just forget the one other person that I've just thrown under the bus. Casually.
Siege says, yes, let the hate throw flew. Yeah. Or says, oh my god, so much lesbianismus. Say it, come on. The heels.
Fucking hopefully she gets JFK'd from that last panel.
Yeah!
Please just end the suffering.
The Kyozo girl from Takadana, but someone from Ma's crew with unknown Grak makes no sense. And a Jedi child at that? For a Jedi to hand her most sacred possession to the man who's been pursuing her and her friends. A message, surely, but one that requires trust in the receiver. Immense trust. Have I earned such trust? In truth, I have not. What? What?
Okay, right. I'm equally as confused. Why did she just relinquish her lightsaber to, like, the space pit bull? Two, what the fuck is this guy on about?
3, why does he care right now that he's earned her trust or not?
You should be happy for your lightsaber.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've just got one of the most powerful weapons in the galaxy.
Yeah, and is he just walking away now that this is happening? It could be that she's using it to signal, hey, I've been captured and I need your help.
But just give him a different item. Like,
I know, but the writer is an absolute dumbass, so...
you're like, why purposely disarm yourself? Like, give him one of your gloves. Because he knows what she looks like because she has, like, gloves on. And she could just... Or give him the pistol. Why fucking disarm your most powerful weapon? What the fuck?
Maybe she did that so he knew that the Pitbull didn't just take one of these things from her, and that she was, in fact, giving him an item to give to this guy.
Well, maybe fucking tie her poncho around the dog then. A more significant item. It would still be some significance for the alien bitch if we were to still follow the theory that you were fucking on about. But why purposely disarm yourself with your most powerful weapon?
I know, especially in the middle of a war zone.
Sandwiched in between two intergalactic forces, albeit small from what we covered before. But a lightsaber can deflect like bolts of energy, which is going to be fired from ranged weapons, which means she can at least defend herself from that. She can't defend herself from ranged weapons with her own plasma flintlock on her side. So she's purposely setting herself up to harm people if she was to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Or then using the Force. But fuck me. This
I
is
know.
good. Cringe.
I know. Siege is just as confused as everyone else here. But yeah, that is... So I guess we'll have to wait till next time to finish this off, because after an hour, I really, really want to not have to read more High Republic adventures. So, I think we already know the answer here, but you want to provide any thoughts on what you thought of this comic book, Nathan?
What do you fucking think? I hate this. Why did you make me read it?
Because at this point, we need to see how bad it gets, I guess.
You fucking owe me several hundred brain cells.
I'll make it up to you by having everyone, when I get the chance, to read the Future Cop comics. We'll be able to
You owe me that at least.
Yeah. Aurora says, must we wait? I say chuck it to the fires of hell and let the devil wish to never set foot on Earth ever again. Bathan, the Troll Knight. Yeah, this comic is just absolutely atrocious. It is the pain of reading this comic. It screws up the lore once again. The characters say things that are nonsensical again. Some of the characters as depicted in the comic are not like how they're depicted in the movies again. The actual scale of the battles is tiny for what it's supposed to be again. And yeah, it is absolutely god-awful.
Some people should not be allowed near a digital tablet and a pen.
Why Disney saw it right to let Daniel Jose Older write not just Star Wars comics, but so many Star Wars comics, and that this is supposed to, by the way, be their next big thing outside of the movies, that's beyond me as far as why they decided it was a good idea.
I don't feel like a universe is being built. Like, the comics feel disjointed. There's no other media outside of the High Republic other than just shit that they mention online and the comic books. Like, I don't feel like anything's getting built on, like, you know, the originals and, like, the prequels.
They did try that a little bit, I know, with the original, but that's also when they decided to make it canon that Luke is a furry. You know, from that on.
We don't. Ace, we don't speak about that. We don't approach that subject anymore.
You know, written by the same person that wrote the plot for Call of Duty, for that one Call of Duty game, Vanguard. The same person that was going to be involved in writing Knights of the Old Republic, the remake. But
oh shit! What the fuck? Is that still, like, delayed indefinitely?
I don't know if it's delayed indefinitely. I do know that she did get kicked off the project, I think, from what I understand, though, so. Aurora says, we shall future cop together and be merry at police brutality. Yes, we will, in fact. I think it's actually going... Now, from what I've seen, like I said, it's 2 issues. One is a promo issue and therefore is rather short. But the second one is a full-sized comic, definitely. In fact, I think it's a longer comic than most of the stuff we see these days. So we should have at least a fair amount of content. And it should hopefully build up the lore of Future Cop reasonably well enough. But yeah, I know the second issue starts with the first mission in the original Future Cop. So the very first story of the second issue is about Mysterio and the Observers. Siege says, sadly, it may take a while for people to notice. It's a thinly veiled husk of a setting. Until then, Future Cop go burr. Yep. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where Future Cop goes. I also, of course, picked up the Crimson Skies comic, although it is a one-off promotional comic, so I'm probably going to have to cover a lot of lore on... So it's probably going to be a little bit of a lore video like with Battle Tanks in that regard, because you're kind of going to want to know the lore of Crimson Skies getting into it, so...
I'm kind of waiting one day for you to have, like, an hour-long video on your channel of just, like, the entire lore of Battle Tanks. Maybe 2 videos. Hours long.
I was thinking of... I am thinking of doing lore videos, and Battle Tanks would be a good one to get started with. I kind of already covered the lore in the live stream, but I guess I could do that. Siege says... Alright, anyways... But yeah, I could do that, and I am considering starting to do lore videos on some of the some more lesser-known games and franchises and settings and whatnot. One thing I found, I told you about the Urban Strike comic, right?
Yes, you did.
I also found out that someone made a book for the original Desert Strike, so I can actually be going... So I'm probably going to try to find that book. It's going to be a proper book, not a graphic novel from what I understand, but I do have a flat scanner now, so what I can do is scan the pages, and we can do live stream readings of the book, as well as potentially read that to do lore on the Strike franchise as well. Because I told you about how interesting the Strike franchise can be at times.
Yes, I specifically remember that conversation.
The Soviet Strike part of the lore really is what expanded the lore of that Strike franchise, and yeah, it really is a deep state simulator, that set of games, so... I mean, well, what do you expect me to say? It's a setting where you have a secret government program that it has so much power that even though it is a constitutionally illegal force, like they say in Soviet Strike, that Strike as an organization is illegal. but they have so much power that they can just walk up to the President of the United States and threaten him to his face and get him to do what they want. TBA says, that would be cool. Not a lot of videos out there about the battle tank study. See, that's another thing I was thinking of, is instead of doing one lore video, I could do a whole bunch of them, but on more specific topics in the lore. But I will need a general overview video as well, I think. Ura says, in the future, Ace will make a review of Mischief Makers of the N64. I have not played that game. I will have to give it a shot.
Sorry, which game did you recommend?
Mischief Makers of the N64.
Ooh, not played that.
Someone named Gordov says, hello, Gordov. But yeah, getting back to this comic here, it's god-awful.
Yeah, it is absolute fucking dog shit.
Where would you rate this in comparison to the other High Republic comics? Is it as bad as the original High Republic Adventures?
Going by the original High Republic, no. Because at least that was a new concept that we could kind of read into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we weren't introduced to anything and everything was being built upon. But now that a fair amount of High Republic stuff's come out, I'm sorry, but this comic is boring.
The only times
I don't like any of the characters. Apart from Thrawn Says a Punch. I like Thrawn Says a Punch.
Yeah. The only times this comic is not boring is when it's cringe.
Yeah.
So the only entertainment value is from how bad it is. It's kind of like Dark Universe, the movie, in that regard.
Mm.
And I kind of have to agree with you. I'd say that this isn't as bad as the original High Republic or Adventures, but yeah, this is pretty bad. This is definitely worse than... I would say this is worse than Trail of Shadows is. So that would be generally the bottom. So this is just above High Republic and Adventures as far as how bad it is, but it's still very bad. Rose says, Nathan's rating this comic unworthy of being used as toilet paper. Burn it in nuclear fire.
Because at least the original High Republic had my fucking boy Geode. It had Geode, the top man, the top G of Star Wars. He drives a Bugatti. He fucking smokes cigars. He's fuck bitches. There's no Geode in this. How could it possibly compare?
Yeah. Also, even the artwork for this next front cover is pissing me off as well. We get the sails. We get the sailboat on the bottom with the solar sails in space that are too tiny to actually move the starship, which is why it has special proper thrusters. You know, in addition to the solar sails.
Mm.
And above that, you have the starfighters that make absolutely no sense as well, because the front of them would just crumple into the back of them, because there's nothing to keep the front of it from being in front. These things make the TIE fighters from the EU lore look like sound and good ideas.
Oh, that's a low blow.
But they honestly do. At least a TIE fighter isn't going to smack the cockpit with the front of its own hull.
No.
And even if these things were in space, the front would still be crumping the cockpit, because look where the thrusters are, in the back. At least pod racers have the thrusters in the front, and they are pulling the back with them. So yeah,
He's just died a little inside.
I know, and also, so yeah, this is pretty god-awful. Don't read this unless you want to see how god-awful it gets. So that's really all I'm going to have to say about that. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Nathan? Anything else you'd like to add, Nathan?
I'm a student of history. And I know that societies tend to start going down a very dark path when a bunch of people are advised to start burning books and literature that they don't like. I will make a fucking exception for this one. You see copies at your local comic store, buy every single one. They probably go about £1.25 a piece. Buy all of them, burn them. Like Uro said, don't even use them as toilet paper because the amount of salt that these comics will generate will probably sting your ring so fucking bad. So now just chuck them in your back garden, burn them, never to be thought of again. This is a blight on literature as an idea and as a whole in its existence of the earth. It's an insult to the Star Wars franchise. It's an insult to what Disney once used to be as a company and as an entertainer. It's just visual aids. It's not good. It's not good content. It's bad juju.
I would suggest launching these into space, but there's always the problem that an alien might accidentally run into one of these comics centuries down the line and then decide to attack us for daring to unleash something upon the universe.
Yeah, they will stick us in a galactic prison because we decided that, okay, we should allow the shit to be published. Like fucking Glebe Glorb, the Lord of the Lizard People in outer space, thought, what kind of cringe is this?
Or, worse yet, an alien species might find it, then think that this is the basis, then this might end up becoming the basis of their civilization, like V'ger from the original Star Trek motion picture.
Never seen it, so unfortunately the reference is lost on me.
So V'ger was actually Voyager and ended up getting it sent to this one alien planet eventually that was that decided that to try to return it to Earth, and it ended up being a massive threat to all mankind when it did so. And okay, so the original Star Trek motion picture is not a very good movie. Let's get that out of the way. There are people who will debate whether or not that one or Star Trek V is the worst Star Trek movie. I'm kind of leaning towards one being the worst movie. It's also, by the way, just a remake of or rehash of an old episode plot anyways. So it's basically it's like how Turkish Star Trek was just a rehash of one of the early plots of an old Star Trek episode. And how that was not good. Gordov says, off topic, but do we have a planned release date for BF 1918 update yet? It's probably latest. What I've been told was from the rest of the team is we're looking at something like sometime in August at this point is what we're looking at. Don't really hold us to that right yet. I know we're still working on some new stuff that we're trying to get done in time for the release. Technically, we do have control of the release, but we do realize that people are, of course, waiting patiently for it, so we'll try to get it out as quickly as we can. But yeah, but we are adding in some more stuff, of course. But anyways, TBA says any aliens that base their society on these comics would be zero threat to anyone else. Well, you say that, but the activists who are making these comics are basing the comics on their own political philosophy. And thus, you could extrapolate the political philosophy from the books to some degrees. And these people absolutely are a threat to the West at this point. I know they're trying to kill me with cringe, it seems like. But I digress. Gordov says, thanks. You're welcome. So yeah, anything else you'd like to add, Nathan?
No, I already said my final piece about book burning this piece of shit series.
Alright, so I think we're in a good... we're at a good point to go ahead and call it. So yeah, this has been Ace.
This has been Nathan X2000. Thank you again for having me on for this fucking cringe.
And
good lord.
Thank you again for being on, and we all hope to see you all again soon. Till then, take care.